Hello everybody and welcome to the United Stand. It's like a meat feast. Well, not a meat if you're vegetarian, you'll still enjoy it, but we've got a feast of football. We're going to talk transfer news first, we'll be talking Premier League predictions, we'll be doing the United Stand Fantasy Premier League and a little bit more on a couple of other things as well. Also an update on the FIFA League if you're interested in that. But let's fly straight into it. I want to talk transfer news first. That's where it's all at the moment. We've got Fabinho to talk about, we've got Phil Jones to talk about,
welcome
and
to the United Stand.
Who else have we got to talk about? We've got Fonte to talk about as well. All going off. Let's start off with the Fonte rumours. Apparently, this is a cracker. You'll love this one. Apparently, Manchester United have agreed a deal, personal terms with Fonte, but Jose's still trying to convince Ed Woodward to put a bid in for him. How does that work? You know, a journalist has even tweeted that out. How does that work? How do we agree personal terms with a player, but our manager is still trying to convince the person who does our deals? Doesn't make any sense. Hopefully there's nothing in the Fonte deal. I'm sort of resigned that if we're going to sign him, we'll be fourth choice anyway. Wouldn't want him to be first choice over the likes of Blind or Bay or Smalling anyway. But I think that's the sort of deal that may have to wait until the last day of the transfer window, if I'm totally honest. But we'll see what happens with Fonte. Fabinho is far more interesting. Or should we do Phil Jones first? Let's do Fabinho. Fabinho, Monaco right back, 22. Played really well for Monaco as a defensive midfielder the other day when they qualified for the Champions League. But very, very good player. I'd actually quite like him to sign, to be honest. Like I say, Brazilian, very good defensively, gets about, he's got some good pace about him. And Monaco have apparently, according to L'Equipe, who were very, very on the ball about Pogba, they have come out and said that Monaco will only sell Fabinho to Manchester United for €30 million. Now, that used to be just over about £20 million, but with Brexit and everything like that, it's probably about £30 million. More realistically, it's probably around 25 to 26. I'd say do the deal. Do the deal, Ed, because you know what? I think we'll get him for about 20 million anyway, because he's a George Mendes client. He wants to come to Manchester United, and as we've seen with Raiola and his three of Mkhitaryan, Zlatan and Pogba, when these players want to move to Manchester United, it tends to happen. I don't know why I've gone Irish, but it tends to happen. If Fabinho wants to come to Manchester United, which I'm sure he does, that link with Mendes and Mourinho is very important. I think we'll get this deal done, and as we approach the transfer window, a lot of people are starting to say, do you think we'll do any deals before the close of business on Wednesday? Fabinho would be the one that excites me. If we're going to do a reaction video like we always do, that's the deal that excites me at the moment, because he's a right back, he can play defensive midfielder, but he's a right back, and I think we need whether you want Valencia to be your first choice or not, which I don't. I like Valencia going forward. I just worry about him defensively. Buying a solid right back, because they're not going to play Darmian, unfortunately, and I do like Darmian. But signing Fabinho would really, really interest me. Galileo Galia says Fabinho sucks. How do you rate Fabinho? Says the United Strand. Chris Brever, we need a 26 to 27-year-old experienced centre-back. I'd agree with that. I'd take Fabinho. We need competition for places in our squad, says the Carrot fan. I'll admit I know jack shit about Fabinho, says Div Ed Moyes. Fabinho excites me, would be a great signing. However, Fonte, no sorry, says Blame the Pickle. Salim Hussein says Mark Bay is our next Boateng. I think he's better than Boateng, to be honest. And Jose gave Fabinho his debut at Real Madrid, says MA7_football. Very, very true. There is that link. I think it's unfair. I think it's really unfair to say... Adichie saying congratulations to Ronaldo, who won Best Player for 2016 and 17, 15 and 16 in Europe. Well done to Ronaldo, big backer of him, always a red. But yeah, I think it's unfair to say Fabinho is bad. I think he's got a lot of potential. I think if Jose likes him, in Jose we trust. You know, you can't criticise me for saying, oh, I want Schweinsteiger, and then start saying I want Schweinsteiger to stay, but Jose wants him to go, which I've come round to. If that's what the manager thinks, you've got to back him. If Jose wants Fabinho, then we've got to back him, and I think he's an exciting signing with a lot of potential. He's still very young. He's had masses of experience in a really experienced Monaco team that doesn't concede many goals. I think he'd be a really good signing, and I think it's going to happen. Lax Bully Topu Ruff says Valencia is better than Fabinho. Depends what you're looking for, really. You've probably never seen Fabinho play, and he's got more potential. I mean, I read somebody the other day said Valencia, Jose's got the potential. Jose will turn him into a really great right back. Do you know how old Valencia is? He's into his bloody 30s. You know, he's coming towards the end of his career. He's a stopgap, whatever the situation. I really like what he's doing going forward. I just worry about him defensively, and Fabinho is good defensively, and he is quick. Have you heard the Varane rumours, says the Ray Me. I've heard people trying to get clicks and stuff by saying there's a Varane deal, but as I said a couple of days ago, there is no Varane deal to be done. He's committed himself to Real Madrid and Zidane twice in the last month, and you don't do that sort of deal this late. You know what sort of deals are going to be done in the last week of the transfer window? It'll be us with Fabinho, which we've been trying to do for a few weeks or working on. It'll be Fonte because it's a last-ditch sort of signing. You're not going to go out and sign Bonucci or Varane. These are big deals that take longer than a week to pull together. What you will see is the likes of Arsenal. They were just making me laugh so much today. Arsenal gloating that they're in the Champions League and we're not. I tell you what, we've got Jose, Zlatan, Pogba and the rest, and I wouldn't swap any of them for Wenger and his bottlers. I mean, at the end of the day, it's like an invite to a party that nobody wants them to go to. They'll go, they'll turn up, everyone will smile and be nice, then they'll kick them out before it gets to the good bit, because that is Arsenal. And but what happened with them is, and this is a really nice thing as well, is that we have made, and Jose and Woodward deserve massive applause, we made our big signings weeks ago. We've bedded them in the important games, the start, you know, there's lots of points to be had before this international break. There's 9 up for grabs, and I think we'll take 9 points. And we've bedded these people in quickly, and we are ready. And we might need 1 or 2 more in the final week, but we're not scratching around. Look at Arsenal. They've brought really nobody in. The last week of the transfer window, they're going to be chucking silly money at things because people know they're desperate. What a joke of a club. And I think even the likes of Chelsea and Liverpool are in that sort of state to a lesser extent. I don't want to talk about rivals. What I'm saying is we've done a great job. Gorov says Jose Menza can be better than Fabinho or Fonte. Jose Menza is a defensive midfielder for me. He's not a right back, and I don't really want him to become a right back. Okay, Phil Jones. Apparently, Arsenal were interested. We're not going to sell him to a rival. To be honest, I think it's one occasion where we should sell Phil Jones to a rival because he'll cause more damage than good. But Mark Hughes sort of came out today and said he'd be interested in him. To be honest, as I said last night, I think this is exactly the right move for Phil Jones to make. He's not, I don't care whether he loves Manchester United, whether he loves the money at Manchester United, whether he loves all the mates he plays with at United, or he's committed to Manchester United. Sometimes you've got to wake up and smell the coffee, Phil, and you're never going to turn it round. You're never going to be better than Blind. You're never going to be better than Bay. You're never going to be better than Smalling. You could go to Stoke, you're young enough to try and stay fit and start to resurrect a career that you've wasted over the last few years with injuries and calamity performances. You've got no future at Manchester United. You're tarnished goods. You're always injured, no one's got any confidence in you, and you're way down the pecking order. Stoke would be a perfect move for him to go and rebuild his career. Whether he'll do it or not, I doubt. I think we're probably going to see him in the Europa League and that. But I know I'm being a bit harsh, but I'm being harsh because he's always going to be 4th choice. I don't know what's in his head. I don't know whether he thinks, oh, I'm suddenly going to be the next Duncan Edwards and I will be 1st choice at Manchester United. You're never going to do it. And at your age, mate, go out. I think he's only on about 50 grand only on 50 grand a week. So Stoke could probably more or less match that. You get first team football, you get a second wind in your career and you make a career of yourself. I think he'll go. I think he should go. I don't think he will. Valencia will still be 1st choice. Oh, you're still on about the right backs. Jones would rather just sit on the bench and collect his paychecks as epic toaster fish. I don't know whether that's fair. Jordan Coffey loves Phil Jones. He wants him to stay. My problem with Phil Jones massively this summer is he's bleached his hair. I mean, that says a lot about people. Lots of people. David Burst-Whistle's on about his 89 points in Fantasy Premier League, which we will go to in a minute. Phil Jones can be great, says Emma Burns. Well, me and Emma don't normally disagree, but I do disagree with that one, Emma. I think he's finished. And Melvin Pele wants Phil Jones to leave. Okay, lots of transfer talk there. I think Fabinho will be done, and that excites me. I'm really excited about reaction to that. Fonte, I don't know. I could see that happening, but out of everybody, I want Fabinho to be done. Outside chance of Barbosa, I suppose, but it's gone a bit quiet there. People going out the door very quickly. I think Rojo's most likely. A link to Valencia. One of Rojo and Jones has got to go, I think, and I would suspect it will be Rojo. I'm surprised we haven't got rid of more what I call experienced squad players. You know, Ashley Youngs and people like that. But I do think one of Rojo and Jones will go, and I think it will be Rojo. Rohan Gupta, Phil Jones will not get a chance. He should be a backup centre back. people talking about their fantasy Premier League then. So we'll go to that next. Hopefully, he says, hopefully this will work. Let me click onto there and to there. Right, I need to go. We'll start off with. Yes, that's going to work, isn't it? Sorry about this. I just want to set something up nice for you so it'll work. Right, okay. I'm going to flip over to another screen. We tried to interact. This should work, but I'm going to be a bit blind for a minute while I do it, so apologies for that. This is my points from last week, and then we'll go into the fixtures and what I'm thinking about next week, and then we'll have a quick look at the league table as well. Okay, so my team from last week, I scored quite well. I had Schmeichel in goal with 8 points. Peters didn't do too much. Luke Shaw obviously got 11. Macaulay 7. Balassi got me 1 point. Mkhitaryan 1 point. I'm standing by Mkhitaryan. He's got to play at some point, and I think he was 9.5 million at the start. He's now gone to 9.5, 9.4. So I've got to stand by him. Barkley, Tadic will come good over a season. Aguero, Ibrahimovic, Negredo. The games for this weekend. This is what I wanted to come to for my predictions. That's a nice picture, isn't it? Okay, so Liverpool against Spurs on. Why have Liverpool had 3 away games? I don't understand that. They've had 3 away games. I've never known that at all. Get in the comments and let us know. So Spurs against Liverpool. I'm going to go Spurs to win that one, 2-1. Chelsea, Burnley. Yeah, Chelsea will win that comfortably. I would go with 2-0. Crystal Palace, Bournemouth. I'm going to go, I don't think Bournemouth are very good, and Palace I think will get better, so I would go Palace 1-0. Everton v Stoke, tight game, I think I'm going to go 1-1. Leicester v Swansea, I think this is Leicester are better than what they've started, so I'm going to go Leicester 2-0. Southampton, Sunderland, I'm going to go, I think Sunderland are awful, so I'm going to go 3-1 to Southampton. Watford, Arsenal, I can see Arsenal winning away, to be honest. They're due 3 points. I'm going to go 2-1 to Arsenal. Hull, Man City, I'm going 3-1 United. West Brom, Middlesbrough, 1-1. Man City, West Ham, I think West City will win that. I think we'll both have 9 points as we go into that Manchester derby after the international break. I'm going to go Man City 2-0. So I'm not going to tell you what my changes are because that's my team from last week, but I did have 2 free substitutions which I have made, and this is interesting. Where's my United Stand League? There it is. Okay, so top of the league at the moment, you've got Shane Mooney. He's got 168 points, 89 points from... Oh, what have I done there? From the week. And also we have Zlatatak, Porik, Lynch on 163. It's very, very competitive. And what I would say is if you haven't joined it, you can still join it. The league code is in the video description with a link to actually the Fantasy Premier League page, so you can still join it. But as you can see, Mooney United's on 168 points, and as you go down, I'm in 36th place, but I'm only 20 points behind, so I'm doing very well. And the point split, I mean, there's loads of people in this league, but there you go. Just have a look there. Razzle Rovers is in 3rd with 161. All I'd say about that is Goldbridge is definitely coming, and I will catch you up. So there we go. Let's go back to me. So hopefully that did work. Hopefully it worked. Bit of interactivity we try to do for you. Pick of the week for me, I think it all comes down to who you're going to go with your captain. Zlatan away at Hull, Negredo away at West Brom, Aguero home to West Ham. So we'll have to see what happens with that. But I'm very happy with my score at the moment, and I've never started Fantasy Premier League that well, so I'm pleased with my start, and I think I'm going to gun them down. Not in the literal sense, we don't want to see any of that. Show the bottom of the league, says Scorpion 1129 Gaming. I'll do that for you next week because I'll have to start on that. You have to keep loading it up and loading it up. So there we go. Montreal Browns going to the Palace game. Who are they playing? I forget what they are playing. They're playing Bournemouth, aren't they? I think they'll win that. Anfield getting new stand mark, says Master Arano. Don't care. What would be the worst player to get injured this season, says the Warden. From a United point of view, it's a good question. I would say it's Zlatan at the moment because he's such a focal point of the team, scoring goals. I know Rashford could come in and do a good job. Also, by the way, what a joke, Rashford being put in the under-21s. Best player in England, best striker in England. He proved that in the Euros. And that's Big Sam for you. Big, fat, stupid Sam. Anfield is getting new stand, says Harrison King. Yes. Oh, I know what you're on about now. yeah, sorry, that's why they're playing 3 away games on a row. So we need Spurs to beat them, actually, because if they've only got 3 points from 9, that's good. If they've got 6 points from 9 with 3 away games, that's quite good. That's good for them, so we don't want that. Just another Pep says Negredo is a tank, but can't afford him. I know, I've got a very, very good team. Audio and video quality is really good, Mark. Something has changed. Thank you. We're trying to make things better for you, so I'm glad you've enjoyed that. It was only going to be a very quick video tonight. I wanted to talk about the transfer stuff. Obviously, Fantasy Premier League for those who enjoy it. The tacker's going along on the bottom right for me, bottom left for you in relation to the FIFA League. A few of you have been asking questions about that. Loads of people have applied. There are still spots available. We are doing it on Xbox One and PS4. So you can still apply. The email address is unitedstandfifaleagues@gmail.com, or the email address is in the video description again. But I don't think I explained it very well last night. There are prizes to be won. We've got things like this up for grabs, a limited edition United Stand polos, which are about 30 quid each, so they're up for grabs for winners. We're giving out mugs as well. We're going to give out, because it's going to be FIFA 16, because it's going to run for 3 weeks before FIFA 17 comes out, we will be giving to the grand winner a copy of FIFA 17. And I need a drink and I've run out. And also a really good thing that I didn't mention last night, there's this thing on FIFA that you call, I think it's called FIFA Pro Club, where you play, there's 11 of you playing online against somebody else. We're going to create a United Stand FIFA Pro 11. So the top 11 players will play in that when FIFA 17 launches as well. So we'll have a United Stand FIFA Pro 11 team, and we want it to be the best on FIFA 17. So if you're finishing top of our leagues, you're not going to be that bad. So get involved with that if you want to. Who is 43234? That's our league code, ADWS. So I'll take some of your comments before we go. Anyone know when the draw for the Europa League is, guys? Banana Man 1, good question. It's at 12 o'clock tomorrow. I can't believe there's a group stage in the Europa League, or as I call it, the No-Hoper League. I mean, what a waste of time. We cannot, I'm going to do a show on it tomorrow night when I know what the draw is. I'll probably do it around 6 o'clock. But I cannot believe there is a group stage for it. That's 6 games. Then you've got the knockout stage, which is about another 14 games. That's 20 games just to win a second-rate European Cup and get into the Champions League, which we'll get comfortably because we'll be in top 4 this year anyway. We have got to play the reserve players and the youth players. We cannot afford to waste the likes of Pogba, Zlatan on the No-Hoper League, because I've told you and I'll keep telling you, no British side who's gone into the second part of the Europa League has had a good league in that second part, because it takes so much energy out of you. We cannot prioritise the Europa League. It'd be an absolute disaster. We must prioritise the league, and I've got no interest in the Europa League. In fact, somebody said it today. If you come between 5th and 7th, it's a punishment. You may as well come 8th and not be in it. I'd rather we weren't in it, but the only good thing we can take from it is that it could be really good for those fringe players and youth players to get some really good experience. As Big Boy 78 says, it's good we have got a big squad. 3 games in the group, not home and away, says Greg and Mahue. I've heard that it isn't. I've heard that it's home and away, but to be honest, I hope I'm wrong about that. I don't profess or have any concerns that I might not be up to date with the No-Hoper League, so I hope that is the case, but I've heard there is home and away. 3 games would be great, but I've heard it's 6. Salim Hussein, we need to play the youngsters in Europe, I believe that. Lamella to Manchester United, says Joel. Why would we be going after him? Why did you say no to me in terms of FIFA, Mark, says Ewan MacGyver. I don't say, we've not said no to anybody, mates. I don't know what you are on about. I think you inquired about the private hangout, which has already been, that was last week, and those places have been gone. We'll arrange another one of those. But I don't know what you're on about in relation to that. Nobody's been told no on FIFA. We've got enough youth to play that Europa. Memphis shines on the Europa. Yeah, just another Pepe is basically saying Memphis would be good for Europa. Is Fabinho better than Darmian, says Animal. I'm a big fan of Darmian. I just think it's just not worked out. Different players, but I would play Darmian, but he's clearly not going to do it. I would play Schweinsteiger, but he's not going to do it. I'd play Rashford a bit more, but he's not doing it. You've got to trust the manager. And Fabinho's better than Valencia for me. Dave Polton says we will have no youth left to blood at this stage. No youth left to blood at this rate except for Rashford and Timbo. Could you record United Stand Pro Club, says Andrew Jackson. very, very quickly, in relation to the FIFA stuff, we are going to have a United Stand FIFA channel, and next Wednesday night, when we've got everybody entered in the league, we're going to do a live draw for the league. So not everybody's into that sort of thing, I know, but just for those who are, we will have a live draw. The very first game of the league, which will be, I think it starts a week on, is it a week on Saturday? Saturday night at 6, whoever my first opponent is, will have the opportunity to play live. It will be live streamed onto the United Stand FIFA channel when that's set up. So we're going to have goals of the week and all sorts. So there's going to be a separate channel for that, because I know people get a bit moody about FIFA stuff being on this channel. But if you're part of that league, we've got a whole channel set up for you. There's a Twitter account. I think it's called @FIFA United Stand. So it's going to be very interactive. I think Dan and Martin are going to massively be running that. So it will be very interactive, so don't worry about that. There will be games that are beamed out live for those who want to watch it as well. Master Arano, I did get your email and I've replied to everybody. So if you've not had a reply, send us an email again. Paul Pogback, when does FIFA Predict starts? It's a massive commitment. I don't know whether it will. I'll see. I'd love to do it, but it just takes so much time to edit it and everything like that. And we're doing daily videos, can't do everything. And unfortunately, this isn't, well, fortunately, this isn't a full-time job for me. So I'd love to do FIFA Predicts, but it takes a lot of time. I'm thinking about doing a live FIFA Predicts. That would take me less time. But we are thinking about stuff, but it'll probably be FIFA 17. Aussie Kid, Man United wants a shout out. When's FIFA 17 out? It's out at the end of the month. Okay, we've covered everything. Good luck for Fantasy Premier League. Drop us the email about FIFA if you've not confirmed you're in it. You've got my score predictions. I'm hoping we're going to sign Fabinho. And obviously, watch along is on Saturday night for the Hull game at... It's 5:30 kickoff, so we'll be live from 4:30. Looking forward to that. And what else? I will be doing a show tomorrow night about the Europa League draw as well. Probably do it about 6 o'clock. Thanks everybody for watching. Really enjoying the shows. Really enjoying the setup. One thing, if I could just say to you all, please do drop a like on the video. We've really changed the way we're doing our videos at the moment. We used to do just hangouts where you could see a picture behind me in one of the rooms I do it in. We're now gone very professional. We've now got a massive live comments box. So we're really throwing things at you. You know, we went interactive on the Fantasy Premier League there. We're trying to make it very interactive. If you do enjoy it, please do drop us a like, because it just shows to those who do all this stuff that you appreciate it. Thanks, everybody. Distant Temper. Mark, why don't you just put it all on this channel to get more subscribers, which this channel deserves, Distant Temper. Well, we could do. I just think it's... you've got to give channels... a chance to breathe, and I think there's going to be so much content on the FIFA one that I personally would like to keep it separate, but maybe we can do the odd thing on here. Thanks everybody for watching. Speak to you all tomorrow night with the Europa League reacts and the latest transfer news.